Hey, boys and girls, welcome to your digital learning MindUp lesson number 14. Pretty crazy that we're on lesson 14 and pretty crazy that we are doing this learning from home. I hope that you are all having a good time with this and getting your work done and learning some new things along the way. I know I certainly am. So lesson 14 for MindUp is all on acts of kindness. Now, the best thing about this is that at Grant Elementary, we do so many acts of kindness work. We had our kindness week. We built our kindness castle. So I know that this is something that you all can do, but we're going to talk a little bit about how kindness and the brain are connected and what's going on there. So here are our learning targets for the day. So today we will define and practice kindness so that you can boost your brain power and happiness for yourself and others. You will know you have it when you complete our kindness challenge. Now that's going to look a little bit different because we're not going to be face-to-face right now, but we are going to get creative, and I can't wait to see all of the good things that you come up with. All right, so here's the thing. Normally, we might do this lesson back and forth in a classroom and get ideas and information. But today, because we're doing this online, I want you guys to create some conversation in our Google Forms that I will link to this video so that I can still, you can get your input and then we can come up with some ideas together as a class. So the first question I have for you today is, when you think about kindness, what does kindness look like for you, for your family, for your friends? And what does kindness sound like for you, your family, and your friends? Maybe think about an act of kindness that you saw at home or at school or in your community. And especially right now with so much going on in the world and coronavirus impacting the lives of so many, I wonder if you can think of, or if you've noticed, an act of kindness in your community. Maybe people helping each other out with their grocery shopping or getting them certain supplies that they may need. There's a lot of opportunities for kindness around us in the world right now. So what are you seeing? Okay. So here's what we know about the connection between our brain and kindness. We've talked before about the neurotransmitter dopamine, which releases those chemicals that in our brain that help us feel really good. Now, here's the cool thing, that our brains are hardwired for altruism. And that's the idea that when we do something good for someone else that's benefiting someone else and not necessarily directly benefiting us, when we have those altruistic acts, again, altruism, something benefits someone else, might not necessarily benefit me, but when we show those acts of kindness, that feel-good neurotransmitter dopamine releases, and it helps us feel good, but it also helps us feel better about our relationships and how we're connecting to other people. So I want you to think about these questions. So if we know that our brains release dopamine and we feel good when we do acts of kindness, what's stopping us from doing acts of kindness all the time? So think about these questions I'm about to ask you and see if you can come up with an answer to what's stopping us from being kind. Okay? So does it take a lot of time to be kind? When someone is kind to you, how does it make you feel? And how long does that feeling last? Do you need to spend any money to be kind? Do you need any special tools or skills to be kind? And what about who in our world or what in our world should we be kind to? How do you feel when you are kind? And does it matter whether anyone else compliments us or notices that we're being kind? Or is it just helpful for us? And lastly, I want you to think, if I asked you to create a definition of kindness, what would your definition be? Think about that. Kindness means what? What would your definition be? And is kindness a mindful choice? Is it something that we choose to do on purpose without judgment? You'll be answering all these questions, giving me some thoughts in a Google form, so make sure you're writing some down or making sure those thoughts stay in your mind. So every day we choose how we are going to treat others. Kindness is a mindful choice, just like gratitude is a mindful choice and optimistic thinking is a mindful choice. When we are kind, we're seeing other people's point of view, right? Looking at their perspective, because for us to be kind, we kind of need to know what someone else might be thinking or feeling in any given moment. So our goal is to perform at least 3 acts of kindness. Okay, this is our challenge. Now, again, challenge is going to look a little different right now because we're digital learning and not in our school building, but your 3 acts of kindness can be for your family, they can be for neighbors, they can be for your community. Again, we're seeing a lot of creative ways on how our communities are showing up for each other and doing those acts of kindness. Okay. So I want you to do those acts of kindness, and then I want you to think about these questions. So when you go to do your Google form, make sure that you have kind of explored some kindness activities, some actions, completed some things, and then go back and answer the questions, okay? So when you are doing your acts of kindness, what is the most memorable thing for you? What stands out? What might you think back on later? Do you notice any differences in your thinking? Are you more optimistic after you've performed acts of kindness? What role did gratitude play in your acts of kindness? And did you use any perspective taking at all? If you've noticed, these themes are coming up. These have been our last few lessons in MindUP: perspective taking, optimism, gratitude. Now we're in this acts of kindness space. So how do all of these things connect? When you feel optimistic, are you more or less likely to act kindly? Was there a time when seeing the way someone else felt influenced your choice to be kind or not? So again, think about all these questions. I'll have them written down for you so you can answer them. Perform some acts of kindness, and then come back on to complete the afterwards portion of our Google form, okay? I can't wait to see the acts of kindness that you come up with as an individual, as a class, and as a school community. Notice if there are things happening around you that your parents or your guardians might be doing, and you're free to write those down as well. I'd love all of the ideas on how we can be kind in this time of social distancing and of keeping one another safe. All right, you guys, we'll talk to you soon, and keep working really hard. You're doing great.